If you're planning to sell your San Francisco home, generic real estate advice could literally cost you your retirement fund. San Francisco has some of the most aggressive, complex, and expensive property regulations in the entire country. And what works to sell a house in Texas, Florida, or even across the bridge in Marin County can absolutely ruin a real estate transaction right here in the city. I'm David Poulsen, top San Francisco Realtor. Today, we're going deep into 6 San Francisco specific landmines that routinely blindside sellers at the closing table. I'm talking about localized bureaucratic issues that can cost you anywhere from $15,000 to well over $100,000 in lost equity, buyer credits, and delayed escrows. By the end of this video, you will know how to structure your sale to protect your money, maintain your leverage, and close on time. Let's make sure you aren't leaving money on the table. Let's start with landmine number 1, the 3R report. If you ask Google or an AI engine, what is a 3R report in San Francisco? It will tell you it stands for the Report of Residential Building Record issued by the Department of Building Inspection. This document is a complete historical summary of your home's permit history. And in San Francisco, real estate, the 3R report is everything. Here is the trap that catches so many sellers. You might not realize that beautiful redwood deck the previous owner built or the primary bathroom you remodeled a decade ago was never actually permitted by the city. You list the house, you get into contract, and then the buyer's agent and their lender scrutinize the 3R report. If a buyer discovers unpermitted square footage during escrow, they have you completely cornered. They will use it to demand a massive price reduction. Worse, many lenders will simply refuse to underwrite the loan if there is a discrepancy between the permitted square footage and the actual square footage. Your deal falls apart. My approach is different. My team pulls the 3R report from the city long before we ever list your home. We review the permit history line by line. If there is an unpermitted work, we address it proactively. We either price the reality into our public marketing strategy, or we work with contractors to retroactively permit the space. By doing this upfront, we strip the buyer of their leverage. You dictate the price, not the permit history. Moving on to landmine number 2, the unpermitted ground floor ADU, famously known as the classic San Francisco in-law unit. If you own a home in the neighborhoods like the Sunset, the Richmond, or Bernal Heights, there's a good chance you have a bonus unit downstairs. Many sellers mistakenly view this as a massive value add because it generates rental income. But here in San Francisco, a savvy buyer and their realtor sees a massive legal liability. If you have a tenant currently living in an unpermitted unit, The San Francisco Rent Board laws make it notoriously difficult and incredibly expensive to ask them to leave. You cannot simply hand them a 30-day notice because you want to sell. A formal tenant buyout in San Francisco can easily range from $25,000 to over $100,000, depending on the tenant's protected status. Furthermore, if the unit was built without permits, the Department of Building Inspection might force the new owner to rip out the illegal kitchen entirely, destroying the home's value and their intended use. If you want top dollar for your home, you cannot pass this headache on to the next buyer. We help our clients navigate this safely. We assess whether it makes financial sense to legalize the unit under current ADU laws to maximize your sale price, or we bring in specialized landlord tenant attorneys to properly and legally navigate a vacancy before the property hits the market. A vacant, clean property always commands a premium in San Francisco. Landmine number 3 is what I call the sewer lateral negotiation bomb. What is a sewer lateral? It is the underground pipe connecting your home's plumbing to the city's main sewer line in the street. In San Francisco, property owners are 100% responsible for the maintenance and repair of this entire pipe. Here's the trap. Unlike neighboring cities like Oakland or Berkeley, the San Francisco Public Utilities Commission does not legally mandate a sewer lateral replacement at the point of sale. Because there is no legal mandate, many sellers ignore it. But every smart buyer in San Francisco is going to hire an inspector to run the CCTV camera down that line during the escrow period. If that camera reveals root intrusions, offsets, or a collapsed clay pipe from 1920, the buyer now has all the power. They know you don't want the deal to fall through and go back on the market. They won't just ask for reasonable repair costs. They will demand a $15,000 to $20,000 credit to cover the absolute worst case scenario. As a realtor, I don't let buyers hold you hostage. We conduct our own sewer scope before we take a single marketing photo. If the pipe is clear, we provide that video to the buyers as peace of mind, driving up the value of your home. If it is broken, we manage the repair on our terms, utilizing our trusted, reasonably priced contractors. We solve the problem for a fraction of what a buyer will demand in credits. Okay, so this brings us to landmine number 4. So the mandatory San Francisco water and energy compliance trap, also known as RECO and RWCO. This stands for Residential Energy Conservation Ordinance and the Residential Water Conservation Ordinance. San Francisco law dictates that sellers legally must comply with these ordinances and obtain a valid certificate of compliance before the sale can close. Sellers often brush this off, assuming it's just a quick paperwork exercise. It is not. Compliance requires highly specific upgrades, low flow toilets that max out at 1.28 gallons per flush, faucet aerators, insulated water heaters, and proper weather stripping. If you wait until you are ready in escrow to schedule this inspection, you are playing with fire. You might discover your custom plumbing fixtures don't comply, and local plumbers are booked out for weeks. The Department of Building Inspection will not issue the certificate, and the title company will not close the escrow. A delayed closing is a disaster. Buyers could lose their locked-in mortgage interest rates if the city holds up the paperwork. You risk blowing up a multi-million-dollar transaction over a $200 toilet. We don't take that risk. We schedule your RECO and RWCO inspections on day one. We handle the minor retrofits, secure the certificate of compliance, and put it directly into your seller disclosure packet. Zero delays, zero buyer panic. Landmine number 5 is a true nightmare scenario. Underground storage tanks, or USTs. Following the 1906 earthquake, and up until the 1930s, many San Francisco homes were built with heating oil tanks buried in the backyard or right beneath the garage. Today, most sellers have absolutely no idea these tanks are down there. But during a real estate transaction, a thorough buyer will order an environmental sweep. If they locate an abandoned tank during the escrow period, everything grinds to a halt. If the tank is intact, a simple permitted removal overseen by the San Francisco Department of Public Health will cost you around $15,000. However, if that tank has been silently leaking oil into your soil for 70 years, you're facing a massive problem. Environmental remediation and soil cleanup can easily exceed $100,000. If a buyer discovers this during escrow, they will likely cancel the contract immediately. To protect you, we hire a company that does a historical database sweeps and visual inspections early. If they suspect a tank is present, we control the narrative, we involve the right specialists and assess the liability and mitigate the issue before a buyer ever sets foot in the home. We remove the fear, which preserves your equity. Finally, landmine number 6, skipping your pre-listing inspections. If you read generic articles online, they will tell you that the buyer pays for the home inspection. That is simply not how we operate here in San Francisco. Selling real estate here requires the SF way. If you list your house blindly and allow the buyer to hire their own inspector during escrow, you're setting yourself up to lose money. Their inspector's entire job is to find everything wrong with your home. When they inevitably find dry rot, an aging roof, or outdated electrical panels, the buyer will ask for massive financial credit. Worse, if you refuse the credit and the home falls out of escrow, that stigma sticks. The next buyer will wonder what is wrong with the property, and your next offer will be significantly lower. We can help you prevent this by providing a radically transparent disclosure packet, comprehensive inspection packet to all potential buyers up front. We help you hire the general inspector, the pest inspector, and provide the disclosures before they write an offer. This strategy forces buyers to write non-contingent offers. They're bidding on the exact known condition of the house when buyers cannot use the inspection period to renegotiate the price. You keep money in your exactly where it belongs, in your pocket. Selling a home in San Francisco requires much more than just putting a sign in the yard and running some Facebook ads. You don't just need a marketer. You need a hyper-local project manager. You need someone who understands the exact legal, structural, and bureaucratic hurdles unique to this city of San Francisco. If you're thinking about selling your home in San Francisco in the next 12 months or even later, I want to help you prepare the right way. Click the link in the description below to request a completely free, confidential pre-listing property audit. I will personally help you to pull your 3R report, check your permit history, and tell you exactly what landmines you need to clear before hitting the market to maximize your return on investment. Don't let a local technicality cost you your equity. Click the link below and let's get to work. I'm David Poulsen, top San Francisco Realtor, coming to you live here in San Francisco. And right now I'm in Alamo Square. You can see the beautiful painted ladies behind us. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care and do me a favor, hit the like and hit the subscribe. It helps the algorithm. Okay, bye-bye, everyone.